Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2.8 tier list video, where I'm basically just gonna update this tier list 2.8 and tell where I think the new creatures go. So we're gonna be going alphabetically, and we're gonna put them on our 2.7 tier list. Yeah, there were no creature changes, so I'm not going to change any of the other positions. Okay, starting with Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus is great, really great. This is going to be a staple in rare tournaments, 100%. So, the health is fine, average chomper health. Damage is average chomper damage. Speed is actually the fastest out of the Rex animation non-hybrid chompers. Has high crit chance. These resistances are actually crazy for for a fierce creature of this type. Diesel immune and vulnerable resistance aren't uncommon in these, but spot prevention is good. DOT immune is nice, and then crit reduction on resistance on a fierce is unheard of for non-hybrids at least. So that's pretty interesting. It's gonna be able to crit basically no matter what. And then the move set. So Fierce Strike, fine. Fierce Impact, fine. Killer Instinct is absolutely amazing. It's a priority defense shouting impact. First, sure, it has delay, but you can use the Fierce Impact on turn 1 and then go Killer Instinct, and it just keeps cycling between these two moves, dealing a constant stream of damage. This thing is awesome. Where do I think it goes? I think it goes to low elite. This is definitely a top tier rare. This is going to be one of the best rares in the game for tournaments. 100%. Alright. Dinotherium. So this is a new hybrid. New epic hybrid. So this is between Argentavis and Dinotherium. We'll get to Dinotherium later. So the health is kind of low, and it only has 5% armor, which is a first. Then that's really not enough armor to make a difference. Damage is fine. Speed's not too bad. This is the first creature in a long time to have 119 speed. Crit chance is good. Okay, it's got some pretty good resistances. These three are really good, and this one's pretty good too. These two right here don't matter at all. So, Group Cleansing and Backed is... Or no, Group Cleansing Strike is fine, I guess. Ferocious Strike's good. Group Warning Squeal. Group Warning Squeal is a good move, in my opinion. And then Running Attack's nice as well. So, you can do Ferocious Strike and then Group Warning Squeal, and then and then Running Attack. And that's going to be a 1950 from the Ferocious Strike plus 70% of the opponent's health, which is good. And if you get and then you have a high crit, you'll have a 45% chance of critting that Running Attack because of the Group Warning Squeal. And I believe if you crit, that's like 87.5%, I think, of the opponent's health. That's pretty good, and it's also got no escape. So overall, I like this. And I think it's slightly better than Argentodon, but not much better. It's a decent epic hybrid. I think this goes into high alpha. Overall, it's got reasonable stats. It's got better base stats than Argentodon. And it's got a pretty decent moveset too. Overall, high alpha. Alright. Next is Argentavis, or Argentavis. Whichever one. So, this thing is a new Cunning Eagle thing, and this is actually definitely better than the other two non-hybrid eagles. So, it is it has a lot of health, especially compared to the other eagles. And then it's got low damage, which, that's the main flaw. The damage output on this thing kind of sucks. And then low speed for the Eagles, but honestly, I think it's got good speed anyways. And then resistances. Rend resistance is nice. 50% diesel resistance sucks. Stun resistance is good. Swap prevention resistance is good. That doesn't matter. So, distraction, Field slap, really good. Evasive impact's pretty good. So, my main issue with this is the damage output is absolute garbage. But it has good survivability, especially against fierce creatures, and it's really fast, and it can speed itself up. So, I don't think it's going to be that good, but it's not going to be bad at all. For a rare, I think it's a decent mid-tier. Where do I think this goes? I think this goes in low alpha. It's reasonable for a rare. It's not bad. Alright, what's our next thing? Okay, next is Dinotherium. So Dinotherium is a new rare mammoth. Also, imagine a bird having more health than this thing. You know, Argentavis has more health than the giant elephant thing. So, they're kind of mid-level health with only 5% armor, low damage, and mid-level speed. So the base stats don't look very good. The resistances aren't that good either. The only one that really matters is the distract resistance. The moveset is actually pretty good though. Superiority Strike, Ferocious Impact, Instant Rumble. So basically, you're going to do Instant Rumble, increase your attack and crit chance on turn 1 most of the time. Then you'll do Ferocious Impact. So that would be a 75% attack increase. So let me get a calculator. So 1575 times 1.75. So 1575 times 1.75 equals 2756.25. That's good. That's a pretty good hit. And then you can follow that up with a superiority strike next turn. Yeah, I think this is a good dino. Well, not really that good. I think it's a decent rare. Yeah. I think this is probably the weakest creature of this update, but just barely. Where would I put it? Low alpha. I would put it just barely below Argentavis, just because this one doesn't seem to excel against any particular class, while Argentavis goes against Fierce very well. So yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Next, Haas Maximus. So, if you saw my top tiers video, you saw that I had that in mid-tyrant. Because well, it was leaked, and I was dumb and didn't realize that this would come out in the next update, so I didn't wait. Plus, I thought I expected to be done with the series by the time the update came out, which I wasn't. So, it's Cunning Apex, as high health for a cutting, good damage, high speed, very good base stats. Resistances are not bad. These three are decent resistances. And then Predatory Peck, it's an evasive strike mixed with minimal seed of strike. That's decent. Field Slap's great. Piercing Screech kind of sucks. So it's Cleanse, Speed increase, crit chance increase, and Distract. It would be good if it had maybe like a 2-turn or 1-turn cooldown, but a 3-turn cooldown sucks. And then Ravenous Rampage. So it's basically Raking Claws, but instant and with delay. Or actually, more like it's instant Rampage, but with 1-turn delay, and then it removes dodge. So this thing doesn't have much for turn 1 options, but its turn 2 is very good. You're most likely going to be going Fearless Flap and then Ravenous Rampage for a pretty good 4650 combo. And you're gonna do a decent amount of damage. I think this is a good Apex. Lastly, the on-escape ability is awesome. Obstruction to Flight is amazing. So, it's no escape except it cleanses, increases your speed, and increases your crit chance for 1 turn each. Oh my gosh, that's good. Yeah, don't swap out against this, I guess, is the lesson. Overall, Haas Maximus may not seem that amazing on paper, but I think it's gonna be really good. So, as you saw on my last video, I think it's going to be mid-tyrant. Alright, Hydra Boa. This is the other new Apex. Okay, Hydra Boa is the perfect anti-meta right now for countering all the crazy swappers. This is a great Serra Magnus counter for, or at least countering the Serra Magnus swaps. So, it does have the lowest base stats of any Apex. It's got by far the lowest damage and then tied lowest health. It's got decent speed, and then surprisingly has armor, and also has a 30% crit chance. Resistances on this thing aren't that great. I guess Distract resistance is fine, Stun resistance is fine, Swap prevention resistance is fine, but there could be better. Okay, the moveset is what makes this thing amazing, though. So, Instant Nullifying Strike. It's a priority Nullifying Strike. That is awesome. Slippery Alert. So it's a when secure, cleanse, 50% dodge 2 turns, 50% crit chance increase for 2 turns, 50% distract for 2 turns. Threatened, it's 75% dodge chance instead of 50%, otherwise it's identical. It's okay, I guess, but I'm not really a huge fan. It's basically just a better version of piercing screech, I think is what it's called. But it's just better because it has higher crit chance increase, but it doesn't have the speed increase. But I don't really think it needs that due to the amount of priority moves it has. Besides, impact kind of sucks. Although honestly, giving it anything better would be excessive. Fabled Fangs. Fabled Fangs is amazing. So, sure, 1 delay cooldown 3 is absolute trash, but I think you only need to use this move once. It's a priority impact that adds Maiming Wound on top of it. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. This is perfect for dealing with tanks. It's a very good cutting fierce dino. If it's immune to DOT, then it doesn't seem like it. Like if the enemy's immune to DOT, then I don't think it would be that useful. But against anything that's not immune to DOT, they better watch out for this thing because I don't think anything will be able to kill this before it gets Fabled Fangs off. Yeah, and then Alert Deception is a counterattack. Increased damage 15% and when secure, increased damage 20% when threatened, and it's for 2 turns both times. Doesn't seem that great on paper, but I think it's gonna stack up pretty well, and I think it's gonna be good. Finally, Constricting Rampage. This is easily the best on-escape ability in the game now. It's on-escape Rampage with a heal. If that doesn't sound ridiculous, I don't know what is. That is absolutely crazy. So, this is what makes it a perfect anti-swap meta. This thing is so good. I think this is going to be taking the bronze medal, 3rd place, compared to the other Apexes. So, where do I think Hydra Boa goes? I think it goes in High Tyrant with these 3 uniques. Yay, we have an Apex High Tyrant now. Alright. Next we have Magisto Curse. Oh boy. I think we have a Tyrant Legendary again. Yeah, Aloraptor's been dethroned. I never thought I'd say it, but it's been dethroned. So, what makes this thing good? So, low HP with 15% armor, though not super low HP. High damage and mid-level speed with a high crit chance. It's not D-cell immune, strangely enough. These two resistances suck. These two. Distract resistance is fine, stun resistance is cool. Fierce Strike, Group Shield, Resilient Impact, and Defensive Running Attack. Seems like a basic move set. Group Shield's a good T1 move, or turn 1 move. Fierce Strike's nice. Resilient Impact's really good. Defensive Running Attack admittedly isn't that great, just because of the cooldown. 1 delay cooldown 2. I personally think it should either be no delay cooldown 2 or 1 delay cooldown 1. Basically it's a 40% running attack, except it also puts up a 50% shield for 1 turn. I think it could be better. And then here's what makes it OP. Swap in Shattering Strike on something with 1400 base damage. Why did Ludia think this is a good idea? Oh yeah, it also has no escape, just to add that in. Oh my gosh. This thing is amazing. This is the new best legendary in the game by a pretty decent margin. Yeah, this thing is so good. So, I think Magisto Curse goes into Low Tyrant. It's so good. I'm not going to use it as my mascot, though, because it looks ugly. Anyways, our next creature is Scorpio Rex. So, this is the legendary one. There are 3 Scorpio Rexes, by the way. So, the legendary one. So, it's got kind of mid to low level health, decent damage, mid speed, D-cell immunity is great, stun resistance is good. Not very much distract resistance, but I suppose it doesn't hurt. And then, don't care about vulnerability resistance. So, Fierce Strike, fine. Cutting Impact, fine. Camouflage, really good. Lethal Quill Shot is a great move. So, so you're almost always, if it's faster, probably Camouflage and then Lethal Quill Shot. If it's slower, then Cunning Impact and Lethal Quill Shot. So, Lethal Quill Shot is great because it's a impact that also distracts for 2 turns. So it's distracting impact with added bleed, but with a 1-turn delay. It's 25% bleed for 2 turns, so it's not like a lethal bleed despite the name. But doing 1950, I think it's enough to bring most things really low. And the distract will decrease the damage it deals to you. So this is a good Cunning Fierce. Camouflage isn't... If this thing had a counter, Camouflage would be absolutely amazing on it. I still think it's good, just because it allows it to deal with things that are faster than it. And then Swap In's Critical Ambush. So Swap In, increase your speed for 2 turns by 30%. That's a lot. Increase crit chance 50% for 2 turns. 75% dodge for 2 turns. Pins you for 2 turns. And then distracts the enemy 50% for 1 turn. That's a pretty good Swap In. You're probably actually going to be able to go Cunning Impact on turn 1 if you use this Swap In. And they'll probably get a crit, so it'll extra damage, and then Lethal Quill Shot, you'll still have your speed up, you'll still have your crit chance up, you still have your dodge up, too. This seems like it'd be good. Actually, I don't know if you'll have your dodge up. But, still, I think Scorpio Rex is going to be good. Some people are saying it's high elite, I don't think it's quite that good, but I think that Scorpio Rex is a, near the top end of mid elite. It's good. It's a good legendary. Okay. Scorpio Rex Gen 2. I'm not a big fan of this one. So it's low health, mid-level attack, mid-level speed. Not even diesel immune. Although I guess 75% speed decrease resistance is good, but I'm not really sure if it helps because of how slow it is. Let me go to calculator, so... 118 times 0.875. That makes it 103. So that's not going to help against anything relevant, I guess. So, 50% stun's fine. 100% swap offense is good. Resistance isn't that great. Cunning Strike's fine. Strike and Run kind of sucks. I mean, it does help with like synergizing swappers, but I don't think I don't think it's good enough. I would much prefer if they gave this thing Impact and Run. Impact and Run are bringing up 1 or even 2 tiers. Fierce Impact's fine. Quill Impact's actually really good. It's a turn 1 Impact with 75% stun and then a 50% distract for 2 turns. That's a pretty good move. Although, as you see, the next creature will have a basically direct upgrade of this move. And then Defensive Swap In, which is basically the same thing as Critical Ambush, except without the increased crit chance. That's literally it. So, it's got decent survivability with Quill Impact and Defensive Swap In. I don't think this thing is good, though. I think this is going to be... This is a mediocre Epic Hybrid to me. I don't really think it's going to be that good. I think I'm going to put it in mid-alpha. People are saying this should be low or even mid-elite. Why? I don't think this is even close to being an elite at all. Yeah, I don't think this is that good. It's not terrible, but not really good either. Okay. Scorpio Rex Gen 3. This one is great. Scorpio Gen 3 is amazing. So, it's got higher health than the other Scorpiuses, higher damage and higher speed, and I think higher crit chance too. Decel immune, distract resistance is more than the Gen 1. Stun immunity, and then some swap prevention resistance. That's good resistances too. Fierce Strike's fine. Instant Ambush. So this is basically critical swap in, except it's not a swap in. It's priority with 2-turn cooldown. That's a good move. I would say that's a good move. Cunning Rampage is good. Toxic Quills is one of the, if not the best move in the game. So, turn 1, Impact, 75% chance stun with the lethal wound. That's kind of crazy. This is the ultimate tank buster. And this thing is so good. You're going to be destroying so many things. And it also has critical ambush with the swap in, too. So you could do critical ambush and then instant ambush, so you're going to have the ultimate, like, crazy, basically guaranteed crit, cunning rampage, or toxic coils. This thing has so much combo potential. This thing is, it's so good. I think this is near the top of Low Tyrant. This thing looks like it's gonna be great. Alright, next we have Scoudo Facion. So, this one looks pretty good. I would say this is maybe... I don't know, I made a thing where rank legendaries again as of 2.8. I don't remember if I could put this as higher or lower than Scorpio Rex. But they were right next to each other. So, it's got low health with a little bit of armor, decent damage with high crit chance, and then mid-level speed. So the base stats aren't anything to boast about. The resistances are good. This decel and stun immunity, those are great. That's great. Cleansing Strike is fine. Revenge Fierce Impact, I think, is pretty good. It's basically, with Revenge, it's a turn 1 defense shouting rampage. Revenge Protection's fine, although you're probably not going to be using it on turn 1 as much as you're going to be for Revenge, as you're going to be using the Fierce Impact on Revenge. And then Decelerating Rampage is a good turn 2 combo for Revenge Fierce Impact. So if you do both Revenge abilities, that's 5,400 to 2 turns. That's pretty good. And then it has no escape. So yeah, like I said, it's right next to Scorpio Rex, which is why I'm putting it in mid-elite. It's good. Alright, our last creature is Centamouth. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Centamouth? Alright, Centamouth is, it's Centausaurus hybrid. Centausaurus isn't very good, neither is Woolly Mammoth. I wouldn't say this is like a really good legendary, but it's not a bad legendary. First thing, it has very high health with a little bit of armor. Its base damage is not bad. The speed is kind of low, but it's not the lowest. It's got 2 good resistances. It's starting to swap prevention. That's not bad. The moveset's kind of where it falls off. Persistent Fortress Strike is great. Group Cleansing Impact is fine, I guess. Group Heal's fine. Group Starting Impact's fine. It's not like a great moveset. But it's not an awful moveset either. Like, Persistent Fortress Strike comboing into one of these impacts, that's a pretty good combo. If you don't use Persistent Fortress Strike, you could do Group Starting Impact, then Group Cleansing Impact, then probably Persistent Fortress Strike, and then repeat, and then heal when you need to. So yeah, I would, it's the weakest of the 4 new legendaries, but I don't think it's bad. So what do I think this is? I think this goes near the top end of low elite. It's not bad. So yeah, that is the updated tier list as of 2.8. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I have no idea. So if you have any suggestions for what I should do next, whether it be more Jurassic World Alive stuff, or it could be some other game that I have, I plan on making plenty of things on Roblox games that I play. Might do some stuff on Shell Shock Live, or The Isle, or Ark, even Minecraft. If you want Fortnite, which you probably wouldn't, I'm willing to do that too. So yeah, subscribe if you want to. Let me know what you think of these new creatures. Where you think they should go in the comments and on the Discord. Discord is on the Discord link is on the channel's About tab. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.